So interestingly, this one is one that I didn't cover off in my last book review of Jocko's Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. It's nature versus nurture, and it was someone who purchased the book and contacted me and asked me to give my thoughts on nature versus nurture. And I think it's a good thing, because essentially what Jocko alludes to here is that he thinks that there are certain things in nature that you get, and there's a lot of things that you can nurture. So he essentially thinks that they're both. So there's just some skills that some gifts that you get, but there's a lot of things that you can nurture within yourself, and don't let things hold you back, because in Jocko's own words, he wasn't the best runner, the best swimmer, the fittest, the fastest, the strongest. There was guys that were stronger, bigger, faster, quicker, more agile, more flexible, but he worked away with what he had, and he was able to outperform because he wasn't in the mindset of, well, I just wasn't gifted by nature. So I've seen guys that, being in all my years of training, I've been involved in all ends of the spectrum, from endurance events to strength, power, muscle building, and everything in between. And what you find is that there's nothing more fascinating to see an event where you are running along and there's just someone defying the nature part. Say there's somebody really, really heavy, carrying a lot of weight, and they're running. It's a sight to behold. You just cannot be, and you can't be anything but in awe of knowing that they had the excuse of nature didn't give me this, or I made bad choices, and they just decide, hey, look, I'm going to get more, and it defies belief. And there's guys that show up in the gym, they're stick thin, like really, really, really thin, and they're in there lifting weights, and it's much like they don't feel like they belong in the environment, and you give them the nod and you give them encouragement, they stick in, and they come out and they start to improve, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Do you know what happens? They start to get results, because they didn't let the concept of nature dealt you a bad hand, so don't bother trying. And I think that's what Jocko means with nature versus nurture. Yeah, you were given some of nature's gifts, and maybe those gifts didn't apply to the thing that you're doing, but don't let it hold you back. Give it your all and be your best. I think that's what it means.